Did you know that Master Fard Muhammad made his appearance in North America on the 4th of July? Why did the great Mahdi leave Mecca, his birthplace, and come alone to North America by himself? Why? Why would he come while America was celebrating their independence? He came to offer the ex-slave our independence from them. So he came on the 4th, so we don't have to celebrate the folly of firecrackers and foolishness, celebrating the so-called wisdom of the founding fathers of this republic, because they were great men, great white men, with not enough heart to write a Declaration of Independence that truly represented the population of the United States of America today. So the 6 European countries that form the basis of what you call America made America a place of refuge, not for all the people, but for some of the people. So this has never been a country of the people, by the people, or for the people. This is a country that never was made with a woman in mind. Therefore, they had to suffer years before they could even earn the right to vote. This country was not made for the slave, because they only fashioned us as 3/5 of a human being. This country was not made for poor people. It was made for white people of privilege, white people of scholarship, white people who felt that they are the masters of God's earth and that they deserve privilege, but no lesser being deserves that privilege. How did we become lesser beings? When Master Fard Muhammad came among us, he came in the time of your celebration of a great event in the history of a nation that is now unraveling. He set before the world on that day a man. And he, Master Fard Muhammad, sets before the world on this day a man whom he has made. The two of them have made him. I found it in the Quran just a few hours ago. And though I had read it many, many times, Allah decided to place a ruler in the earth. And the angel said, "What will you produce except that which will create mischief and cause the shedding of blood?" And the wise God said, "I know what you know not." And so a world came into being a world opposite the way and the life and the will of God, though it was permitted by God. It was only permitted to exist for a short time. So I've read also, it's in the Quran many times, but this time when I read it, it said that Allah created a man with his 2 hands. I never read it and understood it before, but it was like he was telling me, like he said before, there'll be 2 of us backing you up, brother. Allah and myself. So those 2 men that you saw flying above your head today, as we celebrate the 90th birth anniversary of the Nation of Islam, and you saw Master Fard Muhammad and the Honorable Elijah Muhammad as the founders of this nation. 2 hands that made the man that's standing in front of you today. 2 minds fashioned his mind. 2 minds fashioned his heart. So when it comes to the definition of discrimination, the definition of a standard by which God measures, a criterion. That's what you saw in all the ads, a criterion. I am not a braggadocious, arrogant human being. I am so glad that he guided me so gently over time that when I finally came into the true knowledge of who I am and what is my purpose in this life, that I could accept it and not be bowled over by it. He's presenting me to you, to the world today, as the man that the 2 of them made, that is to set down the leaders of this world and to make Satan fully known, that you may fall away from Satan. So when I call your name or call your function, know that God has set before you a master of your function. You see, when I made him complete and breathed into him of my spirit, fall down and make obeisance to him. And the angels did fall down, but there's always a group that think they're better, so they're driven away from the face of God, because this is a time when you hear God's voice and recognize God's voice, you have a responsibility to act on what that voice is telling you from God. Now, you may not believe that God would choose a man to grow right up among you that becomes the master of the prophets. You might not want to believe that, but it is a fact. Because no prophet can even be considered a prophet until that which he prophesied is fulfilled. And it is the fulfiller of the predictions of the prophet that seals them as prophets of God. So my work is to seal that all the prophets did not lie. A man was to come